Ouais, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ah, tu t'appelles comment?
César.
T'as pas un tatouage de John Landis sur toi?
Ah, pas de John Landis, mais dans Zombie.
Wow. Elle s'appelle comment?
Lucie.
C'est ta bonne femme?
Ah ouais, ouais.
Sérieux?
Ah non, je plaisante, c'est pas la bonne femme.
Bon alors John Landis, t'es un grand fan?
Ah ouais, j'adore. Surtout Le Garou de Londres.
D'accord. Et Thriller, tu t'en souviens
Ah
ou
oui,
c'est
bien
oublié?
sûr, j'adore, mais ouais, j'adore. Mais c'est moins une œuvre centrale, je pense, parce que c'est les plus courts, quoi.
Tu fais du cinéma toi-même ou t'es
Oui,
acteur?
oui, je suis en fac de ciné là, mais ouais, j'aimerais beaucoup faire des films d'horreur comme John Landis.
Et là, tu vas lui dire quoi, John Landis? On sait jamais, qui te donne un tuyau?
Ah bon, ça, ouais, bah ouais, je lui demanderais. Ouais.
Tu penses que c'est possible? De
J'espère.
l'approcher?
Ah bah ouais, j'espère, ouais.
Ah, il est trop cool ton t-shirt.
On me l'a offert, on me l'a ramené du Laos.
Sérieux?
Ou de tout, Laos, Cambodge.
Ah, c'est énorme. Tu es fan de Star Wars?
Ouais.
John Landis, pour toi, ça t'évoque quoi?
Thriller, les Blues Brothers, Alice 3.
Qu'est-ce que tu ressens quand tu regardes son cinéma?
Je sais pas, ça me parle. J'aime bien ses films, les thèmes de ses films. Voilà.
D'accord, mais par rapport à Almodovar, par exemple, des gens comme ça?
C'est pas pareil, c'est un registre plus divertissement. C'est plus divertissant. C'est un peu... Bon, il a fait des films aussi un peu plus sérieux comme Almodovar, mais je trouve que c'est plus avec ses comédies, ce genre de films.
Non, mais pour toi, c'est une légende, un mythe?
Ah oui, carrément. Rien que pour les Blues Brothers déjà.
C'est la première fois que tu vas le rencontrer?
Oui.
Tu vas lui dire quoi si jamais tu l'as en face de toi?
Bonne question, j'y ai pas réfléchi encore.
Costa Gavras et John Landis. John, take a seat. Son cinéma. Dites-nous un peu comment, pourquoi vous vous êtes rencontrés et pourquoi vous êtes là aujourd'hui. Ça y est, John, vous êtes immortalisé par John Landis.
Not all four at the same time. I work with Paul McCartney, and I've worked with George Harrison, and I work with Ringo.
How's Paul McCartney?
Paul McCartney? He's nice, but I wish he wouldn't dye his fucking hair like that. Looks like a dead rat. He's brilliant, Paul McCartney, but his hair is terrible. Who's this for?
In America, what is still true with all the craziness, because there's a lot of crazy people, is that there's no class system. There is a class system, but it's based on money. So if you're Oprah Winfrey, you're not black. You're the fucking Queen of England. You know, I mean, she's so rich. I mean, it's...
How could you tell about your relationship and everything about Michael Jackson?
Well, I liked Michael Jackson very much. He's a tragic figure, Michael. He's his father's a pig. His father, he was an abused child. Look at him now. I mean, it's very creepy. I mean, Michael died, and his whole family is like, how can we get money out of this corpse? You know, it's creepy, actually. But Michael was brilliant. I truly... Did anybody here ever see him perform live? 3 or 4? Okay. Where? Did you see him in a big giant...
Yeah.
Where? Here?
Yeah, in Paris. I was very young.
Do you remember it?
A little bit, yeah.
Were you older when you saw him? Yeah. What's interesting about Michael, as a performer, he had something extraordinary. Because I've worked with everybody. I've worked with everybody from the Rolling Stones to the Beatles. I've worked with everybody. Michael, as a performer, was explosive in a way I've never seen, which is just standing in the room. He was a skinny little guy. You could put your arm through him. He had no presence at all. But if he started to perform, when he put it on, it was like, boom! It was like, and if you ever saw him live, even if he was this big, you were in a theater like that, there were 50 people on stage, you only looked at him. He had such power. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. It was like chemical. I don't know what it was. I mean, he's obviously a great dancer, but it really was special, and I couldn't tell you what that is. But it was incredible. He was explosive. And when I worked with Mike twice, I did Thriller, because he called me up because he liked an American Werewolf in London. And he said, I want to be a monster. What he liked was the metamorphosis, you know.
Oh, all right. No, I'm so used to your long sentences. All right. Alors, en fait, voilà, pour Thrill, évidemment, c'est lui qui m'a appelé. Parce que il avait vraiment adoré le loup-garou de Londres, et son truc c'était qu'il voulait être un monstre, être filmé comme un monstre, parce que son truc c'était la métamorphose, se changer.
So I didn't want to make a rock video because those are commercials to sell records, you know. But Michael was such a big star. I said, Mike, can we make a theatrical short? The reason it's 15 minutes is you're all too young, but you used to go to the movies and you saw a cartoon and a short, you know, and I wanted to bring back the theatrical short. And I realized he's a big enough star that I could do that. So that's what I want to do. So he said, oh, sure, absolutely. He was up for anything. He was still living with his parents in Encino. So the record company would not give us the money.
They wouldn't?
No. No, in fact, they very politely said, go fuck yourself. They were like, no.
Donc, voilà. Donc, ce que dit John Landis, c'est qu'au départ, il voulait surtout pas faire une vidéo rock. Enfin, vous savez, ces trucs qui sont là pour vendre du disque en quelque sorte. Mais je me suis dit, Michael Jackson est une star tellement internationale, tellement incroyable. Eh bien, je lui ai proposé de faire en réalité un cours. À l'époque, vous savez, vous êtes trop jeune pour cela, mais à l'époque, avant les films, il y avait souvent des courts-métrages, ou des cours en tout cas, et je voulais en quelque sorte refaire ça. C'est pour ça que Thriller dure en fait 15 minutes. Et en fait, je me disais, bon, je l'ai proposé à Michael en me disant est-ce qu'il va accepter, et lui, il a dit d'accord tout de suite. Vous savez, à l'époque, il habitait encore chez ses parents à Encino. Donc tout ça, il était complètement d'accord. Et d'ailleurs, la maison de disques, quand on a parlé, on leur a demandé le budget. Ils ne savaient pas, allez vous faire foutre. Ils nous ont jamais donné l'argent.
What people forget, when the album, Thriller, the album, had been out over a year before I shot Thriller, the short. And it had already been the most successful album of all time. So they'd made Billie Jean and Beat It, these two videos, hugely successful. And so I think people forget that. So it was no longer number one. It was now like number 6. And so the record company thought, Jesus, I mean, this is the most successful record of all time. It's going down. We're not going to spend any more money.
Voilà. Alors en fait, la raison pour laquelle ils les ont envoyés, vous l'avez bien compris, envoyés balader, c'est qu'il faut comprendre qu'à l'époque, l'album Thriller était sorti depuis à peu près 1 an. Et que, effectivement, déjà, l'album, il y avait effectivement déjà les vidéos de Billie Jean qui étaient sorties, celle de Beat It. Donc pour la compagnie disque, évidemment, les ventes baissaient, ce qui était tout à fait normal. Ce n'était plus numéro 1, mais numéro 6. Donc la compagnie s'est dit, qu'est-ce qu'on va dépenser encore de l'argent? Sûrement pas. Donc c'était pour ça aussi qu'ils ont dit non au projet de faire 1 an après la sortie de l'album, un clip qui était Thriller.
So, you know, we did I wrote it, then we did a budget, because it was like shooting a little movie, you know, it was Union, 35 millimeter, and I wanted, one of the reasons it works is because the dancers had 10 days rehearsal. Most videos, the dancers show up, you show them what to do, and they do it. They had 10 days rehearsal, so they were really good. So it's expensive. So the movie, do you know how much Thriller cost? $500,000, which at that time was huge because the most expensive video ever done was like $35,000.
Wow.
So what happened was George Folsey, who was my partner at the time, he had a very good idea. He said, let's film us filming it. So Thriller will be 15 minutes, and then we can do the making of Thriller, and that would be 45 minutes, and that would be an hour, and we could sell that hour to cable TV and get the money. And that's what happened. We sold it, before we made it, we got $250,000 from Showtime, which was a brand new cable channel. But they only had like 600,000 subscribers, very small. So they got a window exclusive for 2 weeks. And then MTV called us up, furious. How could you do that? And we said, okay, you give us money. So they gave us $250,000. So they got to show it after them. But it was meant to be theatrical. It was going to go play in cinemas. The important thing to remember about Thriller is it was just Michael wanting to turn into a monster. It was nobody's brilliant idea. It was nobody's business thing, because what happened was amazing.
Alors voilà, juste vraiment ce que je veux vous faire tous comprendre, c'est que c'était pas au début Thriller, ce n'était rien d'autre qu'une chose, l'envie énorme de Michael Jackson d'être filmé en monstre. C'était pas l'idée géniale de quelqu'un d'autre. Non, c'était vraiment, il n'y avait pas non plus de business plan. Non, c'était vraiment Michael Jackson qui voulait.
Did you ever see Making of Thriller? Because when we made it, we called it Making of Filler.
Ah, Making of Filler. Alors voilà, quand ils l'ont fait, ils appelaient ça Making of Filler. Vous savez ce qui est là pour remplir, en gros, les 45
Because
minutes.
if you look at it, we had to make it this length. So it's like, shit, what are we going to do? So I said, well, I own an American Werewolf in London. Put some of that in there. And then if you watch it, it's shameless, but it turned out very well. But like we said, okay, Rick, you explain what you do. So Rick explains, and then we cut to Thriller again. So it's like we used like 4 minutes of Thriller in the making of Thriller. And it was like, the best thing though is, I said, what do you own, Michael? What film do you own? I don't know. So we went through their closets, and I found all this 8mm film, and there's this wonderful piece of 6-year-old Michael dancing. It's fantastic. I said, okay, we get that. I did anything we could get for free. We put in the making of Thriller. What happened though was weird. Contract. It had to be in theaters, and I owned it. I mean, I was going to make a lot of money. It had to be in theaters, so we made a deal with Disney, and it opened in Los Angeles at the Avco with Fantasia. Yeah.
Alors voilà, donc
Seen in the cinema, it's much better, big. But what happened was, it made so much money in 2 weeks. The audience would sell out, they would watch Thriller, and they would leave. They wouldn't watch Fantasia. I kept going, this is good, Fantasia. But they would leave. And that the record company went, ah. So I had deals all over the world, this thing, and those fuckers, what they did was, illegally, they said, okay, it's been in a theater for 2 weeks, so we fulfilled our obligation to you. And they gave it to Showtime. And then it went on MTV, and it was such a sensation that 2 things happened. The album tripled its sales.
Oh, isn't this a nice book? Yes. It's creepy though. This is like, look, Michael alive, Michael dead. Michael alive, Michael dead. I think this is pretty good. What's your name?
My name is Seydou.
Seydou. Who's this for Seydou again?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Polaroid. You don't see many of those. Okay, here we are, me and him.